Alright, good morning YouTube. It is Nick with NK Landscaping again as usual. You can see we've got a true winter wonderland going on behind me. So, last night we were proactive. We got the skid steer loaded up in anticipation for today. I didn't think it was going to be snowing, but it looks like it was a good move that we loaded this thing up. So we still have to get it all strapped down and ready to go, but we're going to be going out to Tivoli and doing some brush cutting, as you can see by the brush cutter. So we're in the middle of another project there. We're doing deer netting around all of the transplanted trees, all the ones that the deer would consider to be yummy this time of year. So we're netting all those. We went up yesterday, we put all of our posts in, and today we're going to net them. Or Kurt's going to be netting them while I brush cut. So we got to get strapped down and then head on up the hour to Tivoli, and hopefully the snow subsides a little bit. This is why we fluid film all of our trucks and trailers. They're all protected, truck and trailer, so if we get some salt on there, I'm not too concerned about it. So let's get strapped down and get moving. Guys, so as you can see, we're here in Tivoli. Got everything unloaded. I'm just about to hook up the brush cutter. There's a mosquito flying around in here. I don't know how that guy is alive, considering it's December and it's snowing. But he's in here with me. But I have the whole machine loaded up with camera gear and tripods, drones, and all the good stuff to try to get you a nice video here today. Kurt's working on the deer fencing. So let's get tracked on down to the start of the trail and hook up our hydraulic lines to the brush cutter, and then we can get to work. So we're making our way down the driveway here. This is like one of the few times I actually go into second gear on the Bobcat. But right at the end of this rhododendron row, we're going to take a turn onto the lawn there. It's just a quick little transition on the lawn onto the trails. Now, if you added up all the trails, the length of everything on the property, it's probably about a mile or so. And it's basically 2 passes of the brush cutter. And then during, there's like intersections and things, there's a bit more brush cutting, but pretty simple. They have a UTV and an ATV here that they like to ride. So we keep the trails cut so that they're not getting whacked in the face with branches and sticks, and so that they can see what they're doing when they're riding. So here we are. You can see right where the snow transitions to grass. That's where we're going to be cutting. Pretty simple. I'm going to take my first pass down probably on the right side, since the brush cutter tosses everything to the right. We'll make our way down towards, I wouldn't say the end, but the middle, and then we'll probably turn around and do a back pass, and then just keep going back and forth, back and forth. So pretty simple, pretty easy. And yeah, so we're going to be running high flow. So everybody is always curious, this is a Rut Terminator XP, Rut Manufacturing. It's the model SSBC72 XP. That means it's a 72-inch brush cutter. 30-gallon maximum flow, gallon per minute. We do run this on high flow, so this machine is high flow. That's the second click right there. And I'm not sure exactly how many gallons per minute this machine puts out. I think it's like 25 or 27. And when it's coupled to this brush cutter, the recovery time on the disc down there is super quick, and that is really nice for cutting heavy stuff. Now this isn't a forestry mulcher, this is just a disc style. I'll show you. So we have 4 blades down here, and in the center there are 20 carbides. So you can see right here, those actually kind of chew up stumps and big debris, while the blades kind of cut everything. So it does a really good job with grass and grassy, sticky material, but if you need to, you can also take down some bigger trees. This will take down about a 6-inch tree. I've done bigger. I wouldn't say it's really meant for it, but you can see we're spooling up. I'm not even full throttle yet, but that's what we look like. So let's get to it. Let's get cutting. So we're getting there. I think it looks so cool, the transition between the snowy covered brush and what we've cut. And that gives me a really good idea of where I'm cutting. But you can see up there it gets really thick. This section wasn't too bad, but I'm widening this path. You've got all this overgrowth that's coming in, and they have a big UTV. And if they're riding at the same time with the ATV, maybe instead of riding in a single file line, they want to ride, you know, double track. So we open that up. Now I'm going to go into this section. So we got to cross the little stream and then on to that section. guys, so we're probably 80% done, I'd say, but we're getting ready to go into, it's a mix. It's probably the thickest visually. I wouldn't say it's the thickest brush that we've cut, but it's going to be the most impassable for like an ATV or UTV. At the same time, it also happens to be the wettest area on the property, or at least on the property that I'm brush cutting. So we're going to have to be real careful in here. At least with the swamp, you probably saw before, I can see the water line. In here, it just kind of goes pretty mushy, pretty quick. So you see in front of me, the snowy covered, area. We're gonna take care of that. So let's get to it. We're really gonna widen this out because it doesn't even look passable at the moment for an ATV, and that's the whole point of these trails, is for them to get some use out of their machine. So let's do it. So you can see here, pretty thick. I'm struggling walking through it. And then kind of up there is where it's going to start getting wet. We kind of get down into that low-lying part of the valley. So we'll see what happens. But let's see what it takes to get to this point. Set you up on the old tripod. I hope we don't launch anything at you. We'll go from there. About ready to wrap up here. I've gone through all of the trails. Now I'm back on the main one that we entered from the lawn. Just doing a final, 1-2 pass over that. Make sure I didn't leave behind any stragglers. But overall, it turned out really nicely. I think the clients are going to be happy. In some of these spots, you're not doing a whole lot, but there were some spots that, without the brush cutting, they weren't able to use with their, machines, and that's the whole point of them buying this, large outdoor property. They want to be able to, ride around and experience the beautiful nature of the property that they own, and the only way to do that is to keep your trails maintained. So as usual, I'm super impressed with the way that the rut handles everything from grass to little sticks, all the way up to the bigger trees. Keep in mind, I have not sharpened the actual like blades of, you don't sharpen the carbides. Those just wear until you need to replace them. But I have not sharpened the actual blades of the rut or the actual disc in quite a while. They're pretty dull. I mean, even when they're sharp, they still kind of beat things to death, but the sharper you can get them, the better of a cut they're going to do. And I'm still pretty surprised with the cut quality here. Even after hitting so many rocks and things, I've probably gone 3 or 4 jobs without sharpening it now. We're going to make our way out, back to the entrance, get this thing cleaned off, load it up and go home. Yeah, you can see this entrance really isn't too overgrown. It really wasn't. I just touched up the sides so it stays, you know, the forest kind of stays back a little bit. But this was mainly just grass. Alright guys, so skid steer is cleaned off, and what I mean by that is I went up to the compost pile that we have created here and I munched all the brush that we've been putting here all year and basically eliminated all the brush. But in the process of doing that, got the machine quite muddy. Then I scraped all the stuff off of the brush cutter and I cleaned the tracks the best I could. You can see all the stuff that fell out on the trip up the driveway. But we are done. Kurt got all of his deer fence installed. How was that?
That was fine.
It's fine? Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna be it here in Tivoli for the year. We'll probably be back next year to do a whole bunch of other stuff. I know there's always projects to do here, but we're gonna get this loaded up and go home. And then I think the Bobcat and the brush cutter have earned themselves a wash. And maybe a service, we'll have to see. But from us here at NK Landscaping, go ahead and check out NK Garage while you're at it too. Kurt's always making new videos. The link is down in the description of all of our videos. It's our second channel where Kurt plays with tools, all sorts of stuff. So go check him out. And then from me and Kurt, I want to say have a nice day. And if you want to like, comment, subscribe, you can do that too. If not, it's fine. All right guys, I'll see you on the next one.